Hi, Brittany.
Hi.
Okay, so why are you at YSU right now?
Because I want to make a career. I want to become a teacher.
Okay. That sounds really awesome. What grades do you want to teach?
I'm thinking about pre-K through 3.
Oh, I feel like you'll be really great at that.
Thanks.
Okay, so we're in the spring semester, so I'm going to ask you a little bit about your classes.
Okay.
What's the grade that you want? What's the grade that you believe you're going to get? And then you're going to tell me about what you need to do to accomplish this, and what are the barriers in the class, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so what's the first class that you have in the week?
On Mondays I have... What do I have on Mondays? Teaching. My teaching reading class.
Do you know your professor's name?
Dunko. D-U-N-C-K-O.
Okay. What grade do you want in that class?
I'd love to get an A.
Okay. You said that with kind of some hesitance. Why?
I feel like there's going to be a little challenging with the projects. And the teacher, my professor said she was kind of a little everywhere. So I'm thinking maybe a B, high B.
So you think a B is probably more attainable for you right now?
At the moment, but I'm going to try for that A.
Okay. I like when you say you wanted to try for it. So what do you have to do to accomplish the A?
I mean, I got to put effort into the work.
What do you mean by effort?
Like, just staying focused and, like, making sure I'm doing as detailed as possible and getting everything right.
Okay. Well, how about something else?
Staying on track.
Is there a lot of work?
It seems like there's going to be a lot of projects in that class.
In that class with projects, do you work with just yourself, or do you have to work with others?
It's all individual.
Okay, so that's nice because you can work on your own schedule.
Yeah.
Do you have a planner that helps you stay organized with deadlines?
I do.
Okay, that's great. I love planners, especially from Target.
Big ones.
Yeah.
That's my planner.
Okay, so what are the barriers in the class? What's stopping you from getting an
Just lack of, I feel like the teacher doesn't really give us enough time to do things.
A? Are the tests hard? Do you have tests?
She said they're take home.
Oh.
So they don't seem like they're going to be too hard. They're straight out of the book.
Okay.
So that's not going to be an issue. It's just getting, because we have to make a lesson, like a whole lesson plan unit, like 4 lessons in the unit. We have to do that. So it's going to be complicated to build that up and make sure it's all right for the end of the year.
Not with breaking down a lesson plan. Do you break it down in steps, or do you just do it all at once?
She doesn't really break it down anyway. She just kind of throws it at us.
So she's kind of difficult to follow at times.
Yeah.
So following your teacher could be a good one.
That'd be a good one.
Okay. So how about the next class you have?
The next class I have is children's literature.
Do you know your teacher's name?
Dr. Benton.
And what is the grade that you want in the class?
I want an A.
What's the grade that you think is going to be most attainable?
I think I can get at least a low A.
Low A? Okay. So what are you going to have to do to accomplish that A or low A?
Stay focused on the readings, get all the books for the class, because I have to get a lot of books from the library and online and everything like that.
Okay, so basically maybe using your resources on campus for this class?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have to write any papers for this class?
Yeah, there's one big paper at the end of the semester, a book analysis.
Have you ever heard of the Writing Center on campus? It's
Maybe
located
next
in the basement of
semester,
WAG. It helps you out with any projects that you have. It could be very useful for this class for you.
Well, that could be useful.
So,
I might have to check that out.
what are the barriers that you think are in the class?
I mean, the teacher seems to be very lacking in description, and our class is very quiet, so she doesn't really help us out as much as we could.
So she kind of almost puts you on your own.
Yeah, we're kind of on our own to figure everything out.
Are you a type of learner that learns best when you're in a sink or swim kind of situation?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I like a little bit of example, but I'm okay with being thrown in there. But I need a little bit of direction to start off with, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of us are in the same position sometimes. So hopefully it gets a little bit easier to understand.
Yeah.
So, how about your next class in the week?
The next class I have is child development.
And who is your teacher?
Dr. Stringer.
And what's the grade that you want in the class?
I'd love to get a B.
Oh, this one's a little bit lower.
Mm-hmm.
What's the grade that you think you might get?
I'm thinking a high average C.
Okay. So I'm gonna switch it up a little. What makes this class harder or more difficult? Why are you shooting for a lower B?
Because there's a not lack, I keep saying lack. The teacher's very everywhere.
Okay.
We don't really talk about the topic. She just kind of goes off in her rants. And, it's just a lot of context that I don't understand, and it's very hard to understand.
Okay.
And I'm not very good with tests, especially psychology tests. So I struggle in that area.
Something that I noticed that you've been saying about the past three classes that a lot of your teachers lack organization.
Mhm.
Do you think that is that like just a pet peeve that you can come over, or is that
It's kind of a pet peeve, but at the same time, it's not something I can change
right?
because it's not they're the one in charge of the class, so I just kind of have to push through it.
Do you think it's something that you can learn to eventually adapt to, or is it going to be a bigger challenge than that?
I think it's going to be a bigger challenge than that, personally.
Okay, well, I'm going to help work you through some of those.
Okay.
Well, how about we go on a different note? What are you going to need to do to get that B in child psych?
Definitely to do a lot of the reading. Go online and do the online tests, not the night before, but progressively, and writing down a lot of the notes and making sure I create note cards.
Do you have any friends that are in the class that can help you study?
I do, but we're all on different schedules.
Okay,
so
so
it's
it's
kind of hard to do that.
Have they been helpful with you with any of the resources in it?
Not really.
Okay. Well, something to keep in mind is that, as you get in different classes, sometimes it is really nice to rely on different classmates for information, and they'll help pull you up too. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So how about another class that you have?
I have my early childhood education class.
Do you really like this class since it's about your major?
Yeah, it's actually very helpful. You learn a lot about the children and their best methods to teach them.
Okay. Do you know your teacher's name?
Mock.
And what's the grade that you want in the class?
I want an
How about the grade that you think is most attainable?
A. High B, low A.
Okay. What are the barriers? What's stopping you?
Again, that one's a lot of projects. Very last minute things. We don't build up to them. We just kind of get them thrown at us. And then observation hours are hard because I don't have a lot of time to do those. So I have to make special time to do them.
Okay. What do you have to do to accomplish getting the A or the B?
Organize myself. Make sure I stay, had a better time management with that class. So I'm not lost or behind. And then, I gotta make time too.
Make time. I like that answer. Do you have another class, or is this it?
I do have another class.
What's the last class?
The last class I have is parent professionalism.
And who's your teacher, do you know?
Sydney.
What's the grade that you would like?
I'd love to get an A. High A.
What's the grade that's most attainable?
An A.
An A. Oh, you feel confident. I love that. So what are the things you have to do to get the A?
Just do the readings as always. Do a lot of the group work that we do. So I gotta stay in contact with them. And, just go to class.
How about things that are going to stop you?
Just forgetting to do the readings because she doesn't have them do it progressively. They're all due at the end. So we gotta do those. And then, meeting with group is also hard because we don't really have that much time.
You're on different schedules with that. I feel like that's one of the hardest parts about college is that when you actually do have to get down to working with groups outside of the classroom, that's hard. But
Yeah.
luckily, we do have a great thing we can do next week called time management. Okay?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Well, I'll see you next week then.
Thanks.
Okay.